Welcome back. I'm doing a video today to help, I guess, create some more understanding around what's going on here. In the last 5 or 6 videos, it was a series on the 4 pillars that are collapsing within our global reality, within Earth's reality. Go check all of those out. I'm channeling a group of cosmic beings who are sharing this with us to help us on our human journey. And what they wanted me to share in this video is help you to understand a little bit more about what's really going on. What's not on our globe, but outside of this. Why are we here? So, all right, bear with me. I'm not an artist. These blue circles are souls. They're shining bright. These are bright souls. Okay. We are all, when we're not in a human body, we are a soul that is only love. Okay, we are the only emotion, really, the only thing that is real beyond this is love. And I experienced that myself, and many people describe that in near-death experience videos. If you want to go research those on YouTube, what's really beyond all this is love. At this high level, there's more information my guides are telling me to talk about in another video. Before we come to Earth, before we incarnate, we'll say, to Earth as an example, we put together a blueprint of our life and of what we want to accomplish, how we want our life to look. So the big rocks, the big milestones are set into place, okay? We have free will on operating within that, but we have to remember our soul co-creates this with other souls. That's what this is showing here, is this soul has got a soul contract, all right? So we create soul contracts before we incarnate, and this is what I channel for people all around the globe, is what soul contracts they have with the main players in their life. The main people who you have soul contracts with are caregivers, partners, and children. So when we all are helping each other in this, right? So if we're just talking about our small little sphere of influence, caregivers, partners, and children, they play the biggest roles in our soul contracts. We create the soul contract with the players in our life to help us, 2 things: learn and evolve, and give/support the collective. So when we're creating our soul contracts, we say, okay, what do we want to do in this incarnation? Which, when we're back as a soul, it's a blink of an eye. While we're here, it certainly can feel long. I gotta vouch for that. Struggle is real sometimes, but we come to learn and evolve. And on our soul, this is just one act in a play. I cover this in many videos before, how this is just one act, an overall play, if you want to look at it that way, that our soul has incarnated here many times. Most people here today have incarnated here before. Many of them have not. They're here to support what's happening right now. Anyway, not in this video. So if our soul is evolving over many lifetimes, okay? And so depending on what we want to learn and evolve, and when I'm channeling people's soul contracts and the reasons behind their experiences and even trauma, what I'm shown is that they're here to learn self-love or self-worth. This is just an example of some of the big ones that come up. Compassion, learn how to balance, like create balance in their life, play with power, learn forgiveness, grief, joy, etc. So depending on what they've experienced in their lifetimes, they might create soul contracts with the main players in their life, and then they incarnate into we incarnate into humans. We choose to forget. We know before we come that we've chosen to, we know we're going to forget. Some people have some memories. Check out Matthias de Stefano. Some people have memories. Many of the souls incarnating now as children remember, and they came here on purpose with memories to help us in this global awakening, to break from the systems and structures that have been controlling us for a long time. Again, we chose to be here. There is no systems and structures of control up here. We chose to be here, okay? So we create soul contracts with the main people in our life in order to fulfill what we came here to do, which is and learn and evolve, and also give and support the collective. We're here to support the awakening. We're here to teach others things. We're here to teach love, which is what the man known as Jesus was here to do, and many other people like him came to teach love so we could disconnect from, the people that are hijacking us on this planet. Maybe some people came here to support children. Maybe they came here to support people with disabilities, right? So it's all part of supporting what's going on here on this planet. So then we come into this human incarnation and we choose to forget, right? But there are soul contracts that are things that the universe, our higher self, will send certain things to ourself in our life, to us in our human incarnation. That there might be, that's synchronicities. A certain person might come in, right? A certain experience might happen to support you in what you came here to do. So if you think about this, if you came here to learn forgiveness, you can't learn something that you already know, right? So this is just an example. I see this a lot with my clients, right? So this is just an example, but if you came here to learn forgiveness, you then as a soul co-create through soul contracts certain experiences, starting in childhood usually, that create the opportunities for you to learn forgiveness. Now, sometimes we don't fully learn a lesson in this lifetime, and then we choose to do it again in the next lifetime, or we choose maybe to make things a little bit harder or more supportive of us learning in this lesson. But I'm sticking with the theme here of, if you chose to learn forgiveness, then things need to be created in your life to give you the opportunity to forgive. Whether or not you forgive is your choice. But remember, you're all love. Who you are today, if you have any negative emotions, it's all coming from external circumstances, external belief systems, who you're surrounding yourself with. But when we die out, when we transition out of our body and go back up here, there is no negative emotion. Okay, people call that heaven. Whatever. We choose to come here, right? So if we want to learn forgiveness, things need to be, so think about that. If there anybody in your life that has harmed you, that you haven't forgiven yet, you might be here to learn forgiveness. And forgiveness is the conduit to you stepping into your mission and purpose, and harnessing the gifts, your natural gifts. Like I'm a channel. There's other things that started coming in a few years ago, and I realized that one of the big nuggets in facilitating those gifts coming in was forgiveness. I'm here, I think, to forgive. It's harder to channel for myself, but so think about, here's an example that I'm pulling from. I can't remember what book this is from, but this is an example. So I see this on my own when I'm channeling, but there's also people who've written books, like hypnotherapists who've stumbled upon this. Oh, I think this is, I can't remember her name. Anyway, Helen Keller. Is it Helen Keller? The woman that was blind, deaf, and mute. Her soul contract, what she came here to do, this is an example, is to teach people of the world that people with disabilities are no different than people who don't have disabilities, right? So if she's coming here to teach people of the world that people with disabilities are the same as everyone else, she chose to have disabilities. How can you teach something that you already know, right? So her teacher, which I believe her name was Anne, said, her soul said, I'll come down and support you with that. That helps me with what I'm here to do as well, right? So she had to have disabilities in order to teach, I think it's Helen Keller. You guys know who I'm talking about. She had to have disabilities in order to help Helen overcome hers, right? Which, we know it's Helen Keller. We know to this day that Helen Keller, she was a huge influence, right? That's what she came here to do. So it's while she's in a human body, it's very difficult to navigate being blind, deaf, and mute, right? But it was part of her soul contract. She chose to do it to help the world. She can't help the world with that unless she has something to overcome, right? So if you're here to learn self-worth, you probably had, or self-love, you probably had a childhood where you weren't paid attention to. Maybe you were abused. Maybe you were neglected. This is high level. Again, I channel these things for people, but and it's always so beautiful and supportive. Most of my business is referrals. 99% of it's referrals because it's so supportive. When I'm channeling highlight beings that are here to help us on our journey. If you're here to learn self-love and self-worth, probably starting in childhood, your caregivers who you made soul contracts with from a soul perspective might neglect you. They might have played different parts in other lifetimes, and they said, sure, I'll be your parents or your caregivers in this lifetime. I'll withhold that from you. So you have the opportunity to learn to love yourself, to learn self-love, and to learn that it's not external circumstances that allows you to be worthy, right? All right, I know I could go on and on about this, but I hope this helps. Drop your comments and questions below. This is just a high-level explanation of what's going on here. I'll cover more in another video. Well, everything I share is channeled from a group of cosmic beings that are here to help us on our journey. I have to say, this is for fun entertainment. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video.